everybody, it's Jim here. I wasn't sure what I was doing with that opening jam, but it's always better to lead off with music rather than just yapping. Today, I'm going to talk about value, because value is going to depend on you and you alone when it comes to what a guitar is worth and what a guitar is not worth. I recently uploaded a video where I went over a comparison between my out-of-production Epiphone Sheraton that was made in Korea against my Gibson ES-335. And within 5 minutes or so, I said this in the original video, but it bears repeating. I knew, sitting down and playing them back to back, one was vastly superior to the other one to me. Not close. Some people, they took it for what it was, and that's cool. The majority of people, I would say. And it was just me giving my own opinion on a guitar that I have no way of making money on. Because I know a lot of people think that whenever a YouTuber says anything good or bad, it's influenced 100% by whether or not they can get an affiliate or get some sort of deal. Dude, I can't make anything off of that Epiphone Sheraton. I'm never selling it, and they're no longer made in Korea. But I digress. I just want to be honest. And for me, my opinion is what it is on that guitar, and the value that the Gibson offers me is much more than just the end product of the sound. Because a few people made comments that I thought were pretty valid, and in a mix, if you're performing live, nobody's going to know the difference. Odds are, yeah, you're right. The average person isn't a guitar aficionado listening to 1,000 YouTube comparisons all day. They just care, does the song stay in time? Do they hit all the right notes? And does it not sound so egregiously bad that they notice it? You do all those things, you're able to smile and have some stage presence, you are good to go. It don't matter if you are playing a $40 pawn shop Strat or a $40,000 vintage Strat. That's just the truth. The other thing, though, that jumped out to me, one person talked about how much they love their Sheraton. They threw in a bunch of numbers and time when they bought it, and said at the end of it that the Gibson is just a status symbol. Do you know what a status symbol is in the world? To me, a status symbol is a Ferrari. A status symbol is a super high-end Mercedes. I don't consider guitars status symbols, especially one like a Gibson 335 or even a Gibson Les Paul, because at the end of the day here, even if I had a Les Paul Standard or if I had a vintage Burst, the average person on YouTube, if I don't tell you which one is which, a lot more of you would not know the real thing from a reissue, so to speak. So the status symbol, I suppose, then comes from the logo on the top of the headstock, but I don't agree with that either. Because, sure, it's true. Again, going back to that other video with the comments, if I do throw in a set of lollers and a whole new wiring harness, will the Epiphone sound a lot better? Potentially even better than the Gibson? Maybe. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility. But do you know what I cannot fix, or upgrade rather, on the Epiphone? That is the feel of it. And I'm not talking about the fret edges. I'm not talking about how level the frets are. I'm not talking about anything setup related. I'm talking about the feeling you get when you sit down with an extremely high quality instrument. And it don't matter if it's that Gibson, because there are examples like that 77 in the display case. That thing again, I'm never selling it, so I'll tell you what I paid for it. I paid $1,100, handmade in Japan. That is quality of the highest order when it comes to guitar making. So price really doesn't have anything to do with it. If you find something that's high quality, you know it when you have it in your hands. You played enough guitars, it is obvious almost immediately if you have a really good instrument on your hands. And I believe that Gibson is. Otherwise, I would have sold it. It is what it is. And that brings me to the other Gibson before we get going. And I realize I'm holding the super thin line Telecaster. I felt like playing it today. Sometimes that happens, and that's life. With the Gibson, the R9. I bought that guitar, and I didn't show it to anybody for a while on YouTube for no other reason than I bought it for myself. On YouTube, it's almost expected that we're always going to demo everything that we get. And it makes sense somewhat as a YouTuber to do that because it's more videos, more gear, more content, this, that, and the other, and you help people out. I knew what I was getting with that guitar. I knew exactly what I was getting. I'd always wanted one of those. So I got one. And I couldn't have cared less if YouTube knew or not. I just felt like on my birthday week, because that was, the main thing that pushed me over for it, I wanted it. So I showed it to everybody. It's not been in any other video since, and I don't know how many it's going to be in. But not everything is driven by stuff like that. And sometimes, we do things for ourselves, so to speak. At the end of the day, there's lots of great value out there at a lot of price points, and I praise Harley Benton. I can't win here. If I say that I really believe Harley Bentons are phenomenal and much better than the majority of Fender Mexico, the Squire line, that's not even close. In my experience, people will say I'm a shill. But then again, if I play a Gibson versus an Epiphone, and I say the Gibson is the night and day winner, then, I only bought it for the status symbol, and it's not the big difference that I claim it is. Although to me, it is. My point being this: we all have different standards. We all have different things we like out of guitars, and different things that we love and that we value. I value the fact that that Gibson is going back into a local community that I could fly to within about an hour and a half to Nashville. And it will go to people who are making a living wage in this country and dumping it back into this country. I don't always do that. The majority of the time, it's just Japanese guitars. So the other thing about that is at least, I know that they're getting paid really well and compensated, and they take a great pride in their work. But regardless, we're starting to deviate from the main point. Value really is subjective. If you love a guitar that's $130 and you think it's the greatest thing in the whole world, more power to you. If you have a super rare, one of those Brazilian Tom Murphy Les Pauls that are new for 20 grand right now, and you think, oh, you know what, I could never play another guitar again, good for you. The beautiful thing about guitars, none of us have to buy or appreciate or like the same things. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Final note, because this does always make me laugh. If you think guitars are expensive, even that alluded $20,000 Tom Murphy Gibson guitar, I would like you to speak to people that work in symphonies and orchestras. Ask them how much their instrument cost. This entire room full of all of the stuff put together, that might fund you maybe one of their instruments, depending on which section you're talking to. So in the grand scheme of things, guitars, we have it easy. For the high-end stuff, we have it really easy as far as the price goes. That's it. Thank you all. Just wanted to talk about that real quick. And, everyone's free to their own opinions and their own preferences and tastes. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to play some guitar. I hope you do the same thing today. Take it easy, guys.